No, I was the one that told Meg, put that line in there. Eat that dick up even when I'm going vegan. And can you believe she doesn't answer my calls? I mean, I'm like, Houston, we have a problem. Hello, I made you.
Hello? Why is she looking like that? I don't know.
It's the flesh eaters. Hold on.
Ooh.
What do you want?
You supposed to be making that video about eating grass? Being vegan?
I'll make it just a second. You know I made Beyonce and Blue their first vegan meal, right?
Oh, crusty behind liar.
I know you are, but what am I?
That was dry.
Like your arteries.
Whatever.
Burn. You get it? Dried arteries? Because it's clogged. Because they're not taking care of themselves. Why do I call you anyway?
Ah, hell. It's about to get real.
And you believe that one can be both refined and wretched?
Oh, absolutely. I'll show you how it's done. Who you calling Ratchet?
Look what we have here. Swine eaters are tuned in for another episode, I see.
Drink your juice. I ain't got time.
I don't take demands from flesh eaters. I choose to drink because I'm thirsty.
Thirsty trick.
What's up? What's up, guys? It's your girl Marsha, aka MM Dulce, author of Baggage Claim. Seriously, like one of the greatest books I've ever read and wrote. In today's episode of Blah Blah Blog, I did a lot of research. I put my foot in that thing. So I apologize in advance for the corn. Get it? It's a vegan video. Corn.
Get her out the house, Lord.
Really tragic. No, but seriously, I cannot remember the last time that I ever had to cite references for things, but I really wanted to give you guys a power-packed video. Today's topic is definitely about veganism, my decision to go vegan, my mom's health scare, and pretty much why I believe a lot of people should consider either adopting a vegan diet or reducing the intake of meat. My intent is not to shame or scare you, but it is to inform you and do so in my way, which is the refined ratchet way, of course. I mean, what else is there? Yeah. So first things first, let's define the word vegan. Vegans are those that decide to follow a diet and lifestyle that does not involve any animal consumption or animal cruelty of any kind. Now, I want to make a very important differentiation because I consider myself a dietary vegan. I'm not exactly a lifestyle vegan. A lifestyle vegan or an ethical vegan would be one that takes it to the extreme. I mean, they will not use any hair products, makeup, beauty products, any clothing that involves the cruelty or abuse of animals. So lifestyle vegans are more particular about avoiding things like honey because although bees are still alive throughout the process of making honey, they do not believe in using animals for food products whatsoever. They'll be super conscious even when shopping for clothes. Now, for all of y'all rocking pleather out there, don't worry, that's still vegan friendly because pleather, unlike its luxurious twin, leather, is not made with any animal products. As of today, I've been vegan for 163 days. That's a huge deal. It's the longest stride I've ever met. I track this with an app called Day Count. I love using it to track my vegan journey because it definitely motivates me to keep going. Anytime I bring up the word vegan or the possibility of even going vegan, I hear from people all the time, hell no, I can't go vegan. The hell I'm gonna eat? Grass? So I'm annoying enough to find footage of people eating grass because I couldn't believe I could find footage of people eating grass.
Go eat outside. Go, quickly.
Oh my word. They running for... Child, they eating grass.
This from a church too.
Look at him. He is throwing down.
I know, and I'm so petty for the slow-mo. Bro, I feel like I'd be hungry like all the time. I can't do it. Okay, I was definitely one of those people. I was actually able to dig up an old status of mine that said I could never give up oxtails and lamb or something like that. And it's so crazy because I've been giving up oxtails and lamb and shit like that. I bet you're wondering what's all the fuss. Why go vegan, Marsha? What's the big deal? There are several claims from plant-based websites such as PETA.org and even scientific journals that claim that going vegan can do several things for you, like improve your skin, digestion, boost your mood, give you energy, and it goes on and on. However, I want to highlight the three main reasons why people go vegan. One, They do so to improve their physical health. Now, this is everything from your physical appearance, like weight loss, and inwardly as far as your vitality is concerned, or your health overall. The second reason is based on the environment. All right, I stole this from the internet. The source is down below, but essentially going vegan can reduce your carbon footprint and thus slow the effects of global warming. And thirdly, the animals. Save the animals. Save the bees. Save the sea manatees. Yeah. I don't know who's eating sea manatees, but you get my point. Now, while those are all very noble reasons to go vegan, they weren't necessarily my reasons to go vegan. Well, not all of them. As much as I'd like to say that I love animals, I can't actually say that I cared a lot about what went on in slaughterhouses. Although now I can say I'm probably a little bit more sensitive than I was back then prior to going vegan. I have 3 particular reasons as to why I went vegan, and I'm going to keep it very short because I definitely want to do a lot more educating than I want to do delving into my personal reasons. The first reason is definitely more vain. I really just wanted to lose weight. I knew that incorporating a more plant-based diet would help me cut out a lot of the fatty foods that I was addicted to, we'll get to that in a second, and allow me to increase my fiber intake and thus allow me to lose weight over a period of time. Quick disclaimer, going vegan does not mean you'll automatically lose weight. You are still required to have a healthy, balanced diet on a vegan diet as well. So it's not necessarily a huge cheat code, it just helped me speed up the weight loss process because I was able to stop eating things like Hot Pockets and slices and slices of pizza. It allowed me to cut a lot of my bad habits out. That takes me into the second reason. I don't talk about this a lot, mainly because I hadn't really come to terms with it, but I did sort of have an unofficial eating disorder. Now, while I'm not a really big fan of mental health labels, I will admit that I did have some bulimic episodes. I would have some moments where I overate a lot, felt guilty about it afterwards, and then would attempt to either regurgitate the food. Is that the right word? Throw up the food, y'all know what I'm trying to say. Or I would just have these intense moments of darkness where I just felt really guilty about the food that I ate. The problem with this is a lot of people do not give eating disorders attention, or they don't take them seriously because they don't know how real they are. I mean, I remember like it was yesterday. I literally kept eating packets and packets of goldfish that we had for free at work. And I'm laughing, but it really wasn't funny at the time. I actually got on the phone because we had free counseling services, and I decided right then and there I was going to set up a counseling session because I realized that I had been overeating as a response to some other negative things that were going on in my life at the time. So definitely going vegan helped me to stop overeating because a lot of the things that I would eat a lot of, like goldfish, cheesy products, jerky, you name it, I wouldn't be eating as much on a vegan diet. So it allowed me to shift my focus on eating healthier foods, which, as I was talking to my therapist, would help me feel better about myself. So that was one of the main reasons I decided to go vegan as well. Now, the third reason I decided to go vegan definitely pulls on my heartstrings. So my mom had an accident 3 years ago in Haiti and came here to the US for care because she fell and broke her leg. While they were taking care of the actual broken bone, they discovered that she actually had a cancer called multiple myeloma. This was probably the worst, oh my gosh, I'm getting emotional. This was probably the worst experience of my entire life, getting that type of news. I was not in a very good place with my mom, and I'll probably talk about that a little bit later. And I can tell you something, nothing quite speeds up the forgiveness process like a terminal illness and diagnosis like cancer. So that was a very dark time for me, and I still have a little bit of issues processing that. However, I'm in a much healthier space, and I'm thankful that, almost 3 years later, she's still with us today. I want to make it very clear, if you ever think about going on WebMD to either self-diagnose or figure out how long someone has with a particular illness, don't. Literally thought she only had a year to live, but anyways, like I said, we're here today in 2020, and thank God she's still here. So I did my research, and I wanted to know, what really causes cancer? Why the does everybody have cancer? Cancer. It's like you hear it all the time. So I really wanted to bring you guys this content because diet and lifestyle have a huge impact on your susceptibility to getting a disease like cancer. And as a matter of fact, it happened on both my mom's side and my dad's side. Okay, I'm doing a voiceover because I wanted to make sure this video had the most accurate information. I just learned that cancer cells do not lie dormant, like I said originally in this video. However, cells become cancerous due to a form of malignant growth, and all cells have the ability to do that. First things first, I want you guys to be aware of your family medical history. A family medical history can identify people with a higher than usual chance of having common disorders such as heart disease, high blood pressure, stroke, certain cancers, and diabetes. It's definitely important to know what's already running in your family. Be aware of it so you can make certain changes, because history repeats itself. There is a reason why diabetes runs in your family, and it's not just because it's hereditary, but it's also because of the lifestyle and dietary practices that we keep cycling on generation after generation. Now, I want to share some things about non-vegan foods that you should probably be concerned about. Again, this is not meant to scare you, and I promise I will keep it very PG. I will leave links in the description below if you care to look a little bit further into what I'm saying. I do implore you guys to take this very seriously, however, because no one is invincible. It doesn't matter if you don't have a family history of cancer or diabetes or any form of heart disease. A poor diet and lifestyle can definitely easily contribute to these things as well. So please be very mindful of that. So the number one thing that people often find very hard to give up is cheese. I know, and that's why a lot of people are vegetarians and not many people are vegans. Cheese is very hard to give up, and I have finally cracked the code on why. What would you say if I told you that cheese is like a drug? Now, you'd probably think I'm crazy, but I promise, like I said, I did my research. I've watched documentaries and I've actually read articles that talk about cheese's drug-like properties. The thing is, fragments of cheese protein called casomorphins attach to the same brain receptors as heroin and other narcotics. As a result, each bite of cheese produces a tiny hit of dopamine, which we all know is that feel-good drug. Now, if you're telling me that cheese acts like a mild opiate, it makes sense why so many people go into the pizza business. It makes sense why cheese is virtually on almost every single product that non-vegans eat, such as hamburgers, pizzas, Philly cheesesteaks, nachos. People in America have a huge problem with cheese. No, it's not just American. However, we do have a diet that is super high in saturated fats, and cheese is definitely high in this as well. Now, if you are contemplating going vegan, I will warn you, vegan pizza does not taste the same. However, when you think about what dairy is actually doing to your system, it is totally worthwhile to give it up. I don't like acting like I'm holier than thou because I'm vegan. I do like to admit when I am missing pizza or when I would like some lemon pepper chicken wings. However, I always remind myself why I'm on this journey. So if you are contemplating going vegan, just be as honest as possible with yourself without giving in and breaking your goal. So the second thing about non-vegan foods that I wanted to bring to your attention is that meat, red meat in particular, and processed meats have been classified as a class 1 carcinogen. What the fuck? If you don't know what a carcinogen is, it's a substance that's capable of causing cancer in living tissue. That basically means that red meat and processed meat have been linked to cancer. I know, I said I wasn't going to scare you, so I do want to reel it back some. Now, you have to do your own research and empower yourself so that you're confident with the decision that you're making. However, this is just the research that I and many others have done, and this is exactly what I wanted to bring to you. So I bet you're wondering, well, why isn't this bigger news? Why aren't more people talking about how meat is carcinogenic, and why aren't we doing things to change what the American dietary guidelines say as far as protein consumption with red meats and processed meats? Well, honey, I ain't here to conspiracize, but it's all a part of their plan. You see, if they tell you the truth about meat, then you'll stop eating meat, which means they can't make money off of meat, and that just can't happen. But seriously, I did want to go ahead and include a couple inserts that show the causal links between red meat and processed meats and cancer. Again, this is all from the World Health Organization, so take your time to look at these. For me personally, meat is the last thing that I miss. I used to be called ribs back in college because we had a Chili's on campus and I used to F up some Chili's baby back ribs, okay? I remember going vegan. I saw a girl eating a turkey leg on the street and she just looked like a complete barbarian to me. There are some new age hippie woo-woo people that will actually claim that people that eat dead flesh are inhibiting the emotions of that poor dead animal when they die. I'm not one of those people, and again, I am not here to scare you. I am not telling you to go vegan. However, I am a fan of meat reduction because that will do the environment good and it will do your insides good.
Okay, Dulce, I hear you. What about chicken?
You really want to know what they say about chicken?
Tell us.
Oh my God. I know. You weren't ready to see that. I can't say that I'd be ready to see it if I weren't already not eating meat, so I completely understand.
Okay, what about fish?
Fish? Child? So, I know that got kind of dark. I'm very sorry that I had to be the one to be the bearer of bad news, but I don't want no beef between us. Beef. I'm sorry. You're still not over it. Okay. Again, my goal is not to convert you. Although I would be happy to see more people having a more plant-based lifestyle, I do understand that it's not necessarily the most popular choice, if you will. So I definitely understand people clinging to what they're used to. However, I just want to say you guys cannot ignore the truth. Again, this is not stuff that I made up. I would prefer to be eating cheese and not feel like a dick about it. However, now some people will argue, well, Marsha, what if I eat in moderation? Well, absolutely. Like I said before, eating vegan does not necessarily mean that you're going to be the healthiest person on the planet. Oreos are vegan, and so is Swedish fish. If I ate Oreos and Swedish fish, I'd still be a vegan, but not a very healthy one. Not a very thin one either. So I want to be very clear that it's very important, no matter what diet, whether pescatarian, flexitarian, meaning you do what you want, when you want, where you want, who you want it with, or vegan or vegetarian, you still have to have a very balanced diet. If you're thinking about going vegan, I do want to go ahead and recommend a couple of these documentaries that I watched on Netflix. Again, take your time and take your time processing the information because it can be very overwhelming and kind of scary. But just keep in mind that you are in the know once you know this information. You have a decision to make. You can continue to make the same decisions that you've been making, ingesting the same kind of foods that lead to certain diseases, or you can do one of two things. Reduce your intake significantly and give yourself a fighting chance for your arteries to unclog and to give yourself a boost in vitality. Or you can just adopt the plant-based lifestyle. You can start by just switching out a couple days in your week and make those days completely vegan. Learn new recipes. Explore what's available in your local marketplace. Trader Joe's is an amazing place to get started. Whole Foods as well, and even in your local Publix and Walmart, there are plenty of meat-free, dairy-free options out there, and they actually taste pretty good. I will say that it is not more expensive to be vegan. I actually find myself spending, if not the same amount of money, less money, because when you're shopping in the produce section, tomatoes are like 3 for like 20 cents. At the end of the day, if you really want to do something, you will definitely find a way to make it work. Personally, this was one of the best decisions I've ever made. As a person that dealt with some bulimic episodes and overeating tendencies, I definitely have reduced that. And I can say that I have more pride in what I do eat. It feels so good to know that I'm eating nutritious foods and foods that do not necessarily involve the torture of an innocent animal. Although the Bible does say, we shall have dominion over the animals. I personally love the journey that it's set me on. I've lost weight, I've boosted my self-esteem, I have more energy, I rarely get sick, I don't get headaches as often. I can't remember the last time I've had a cold. And I can definitely say that I'm sleeping better. There are many benefits to adopting a more plant-based lifestyle or going full vegan. Before I go, I just wanted to share a fun fact about veganism. The word vegan was actually coined in August of 1944. Donald Watson, a member of the Vegetarian Society, decided that a part of their newsletter should be devoted to those that are also dairy-free. So they decided to go ahead and call it vegan. The word vegan actually comes from the first 3 letters of vegetarian as well as the last 2 letters of vegetarian. So he threw it in the newsletter and asked his readers to go ahead and throw in their 2 cents if they can think of anything better than the word vegan. Now, while things such as all vega, neo-vegetarian, and benivore came about, vegan was the one that stuck. So I know this was a very hard one, but hopefully you got some good information out of this. This channel is like my personal diary, and veganism is a very big part of my life, so I just wanted to share that with you guys. I can admit it can be scary to hear all this information, especially when that C word comes creeping around, but I had to tell you guys. You guys have to be empowered with the truth. So talk to me in the comments. Let me know if you've ever considered going vegan, if you've ever went vegan, or how you plan to go forward after watching a video like this. If you plan to keep eating your meat, do you, boo-boo. Let me know if you guys would like me to make some more content on veganism, such as my favorite products, staple foods, and things of that nature. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you have a little time, don't be dingy, get bingy. Until next time, be refined, be ratchet, be you. And be plant-based if you can stand it.